Our presentation is on how community art shape well-being and social bonds. When we talk about community arts, well-being and social bonds, what we're really talking about is how participating in the community in artistic activities together can help them connect, communicate, and have a shared sense of belonging. These shared experiences can have meaningful impacts on their lives as well as being beneficial to them. And for communities facing hardships, participating in an activity together can support healing and can help people start rebuilding their lives. Pro-social behavior, as defined by the American Psychological Association, means denoting or exhibiting behaviors that benefit one or more people. This means acting in a way that's beneficial for society. Social cohesion means to the extent to which a community or group feels a connection to each other, as well as mutual tolerance, acceptance, understanding, and feeling like they belong within the group. And community resilience means having community networks, relationships, communication, preparedness, and mental outlook. It also means having a capacity for successful adaptation in the face of disturbances, stress, or adversity. The types of art-based engagements that we have been looking at range from art, music therapy, singing, to dance, storytelling, and literary art. We've looked at different environments in which community art has been used for. For example, in the aftermath of the Nepal earthquake, community arts was used to offer relief, to help the victims, and as a mechanism for coping. We also looked at community arts being used for children with special needs to help them with their social development. There are many different contexts in which it's beneficial, so we've looked at a few.
Those being 2 literature reviews, a cross-sectional study, and a mixed method study. The 2 studies that employed a literature review were the relationship between arts and well-being, as well as the healing of affected communities within humanitarian situations. The relationship study aimed to observe the health and well-being risks of social isolation, where the humanitarian study aims to tackle an alternative perspective to social adversity brought on by circumstance. Literature reviews provide large-scale holistic insights, bridging gaps in literature and enabling future research within a topic. However, literature reviews are subject to the bias of researchers as well as being time-consuming and limiting due to the availability of resources, as databases do not contain every instance of research within a topic, making a truly unbiased study near impossible. Our cross-sectional study tackled community healing in the aftermath of the 2015 Nepal earthquake. A group of US-based global health researchers from the University of Pittsburgh, in collaboration with a creative design agency in Nepal called Image Arc. Our cross-sectional study tackled community healing in the aftermath of the 2015 Nepal earthquake. A group of US-based global health researchers from the University of Pittsburgh, in collaboration with a creative design agency in Nepal called Image Arc, interviewed participants on public art created after the earthquake. Cross-sectional studies aim to provide a snapshot of a population as a means to establish correlations between variables. They are cost-effective and unlikely to induce attrition drop-off from participants, primarily acting as preliminary data for future research. Because of this, long-term trends cannot be discerned, as well as being subject to the bias because of a lack of outside insight. Most importantly, cross-sectional studies are non-correlational, meaning they cannot prove cause and effect. Our final study employed mixed methods through observation of a day camp for children with and without special needs, using musical arts to establish a list of benefits found through expression. Mixed method studies aim to combine qualitative and quantitative data in order to bridge gaps found within both data types. Mixed method studies work around the participants, allowing for ease of data collection and a deeper insight into the participants' thoughts. On the other hand, utilizing both qualitative and quantitative data is largely time-consuming to process, as well as inviting potentially conflictive data, requiring either exclusion or correction, as well as having a greater risk of error due to the handling of 2 different data types. Please be aware that the definition of art is subjective, as some studies included non-traditional art forms such as gardening and sports.
From the discussion and result, Bauman and their colleagues identified 3 common themes that capture what results from art-based approaches. First, they offer a way of coping through reflection, creating art, or simply observing it, and provide individuals an escape from their immediate circumstances. Secondly, it fosters communication. It sparks conversations to help people engage with sensitive topics, building understanding, and spreading messages of hope. In the study done after the Nepal earthquake, for example, the program gave people a chance to reflect on their own beliefs while also engaging with others' perspectives. And the third theme was the development of social cohesion. By creating safe physical and emotional spaces, it helps find common ground and strengthens collective identity. In health promotion practice, this was shown through the community's dedication to preserve the sacred artifacts, which reinforced purpose and teamwork after the disaster. One of the major benefits of art-based programs is the sustainability of the results that continue in the community after the initial intervention. This longevity was accredited to the sense of belonging that developed, which led to greater commitment to both the program and the participants involved. These programs also center cultural identity and pride, helping preserve traditions and creating space for diverse cultures to connect. And each study had a unique results based on the context, which still fall under the three themes discussed. For instance, in the 2-week creative arts camp for children with and without special needs, researchers found improvements in task orientation, social skills, and assertiveness. The children's journals highlighted shared facilitation, increased confidence, experimental learning, and inspiration as key outcomes. Factors that stood out for developing future programs included co-creation. The study showed that the more deeply programs involved participants in co-creative activities, the stronger the outcomes. Community gardens and choir initiatives were especially effective. Choirs promoted inclusion, belonging, and unity, while community gardens promoted opportunities to build networks, trust, and social capital, as highlighted in the Frontiers in Public Health. In the report by Murphy and their colleagues, the improvements for future arts-based programs is broken into 3 parts. First, identifying the target population so the design and implementation align with their needs. Programs should also loop in all relevant professionals that need to be involved to provide diverse perspectives. Second is evaluating and reviewing the program afterwards to assess its impacts using systematic analysis and outcome categorization. It's important to gather as much feedback as possible from participants and stakeholders and the creative team to refine and strengthen future interventions. And finally, they highlight co-creation, recommending approaches like participatory action research to ensure relevancy and authenticity. They also emphasize examining how the program contributes to broader social change and policy advocacy moving forward.